Well, that didn't go down like anyone expected. Hello folks and welcome to Paddock Pass, your post-race edition for the 2018 Mexican Grand Prix. A race that Sebastian Vettel needed to win to take the championship on to the next round and hope that Lewis Hamilton didn't finish higher than 8th. Ultimately, didn't really matter where Lewis Hamilton finished today because Max Verstappen has won the Mexican Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton finished off the podium on a strange day for Mercedes, a strange weekend in fact for Mercedes, where in the dry conditions they never appeared to have the confidence in the tyres or the pace that their rivals at Red Bull Racing or ultimately Ferrari showed on the day. Daniel Ricciardo started from pole position, but it was hard take again for the Australian. Car failure robbing him of a podium place in the dying laps. It was a double Ferrari podium with Vettel in second and Raikkonen in third, but it was, on the track itself, Max Verstappen's day. I think we'll start with the top three from the race, given that it's a post-race Paddock Pass. So here are your top three. Max Verstappen, a race winner again in 2018. Sebastian Vettel in second, and Kimi Raikkonen in third.
Max, disappointment yesterday. It must be a very different feeling for you today.
Yeah. I guess I slept 3 hours last night. Very angry still up until the race start, but very quickly that changed into a good feeling.
Yeah, that start was crucial, I imagine, for the whole rest of the afternoon, set the tone.
Absolutely, and it was nice because I think normally Seb would have taken the lead, but he got boxed in because of their top speed. It was very nice, and from there onwards, I could do my own race, and seemed Lewis was struggling with his tires, so I was just trying to match his lap times to not overstress my tires, and then at the end with Seb trying to catch me again, I tried to do my own pace, and when he pitted, we pitted also to just have a new time.
Yeah, you seem to have everything under control. Were you ever nervous, especially after Daniel's retirement?
No, I was not nervous, but of course, when something like that happens, you ask the team, like, guys, are you sure mine is fine, my engine is fine, and stuff like that. So we did turn it down at the end, but that was just to be sure.
And just finally, a word on Lewis Hamilton, now a 5-time world champion.
Yeah, it's of course an amazing achievement. So I think he was also the strongest driver over the whole season, the most consistent one, and that's how you win a championship.
If we can just focus on the race in isolation first, was second the best you could do today? Was Max just too quick?
Yeah, too quick and too far away. Obviously, we lap one, turn one, I had no place to go, and then we lost a bit. So I think it was all we could do.
And if we look at the title picture as a whole, obviously the championship is now over. How do you reflect on your 2018 season and Ferrari's?
Not over yet.
In terms of trying to win the Drivers' Championship, at least?
That's over. So, I don't know, I'm not a huge reflector. Not for now, at least, obviously. It's not our day, it's not my day, it's Lewis's day, and Max's day, and mostly Lewis's day. So congrats to them, but especially to Lewis. I think he was just the better man, full stop.
And you were both going for title number 5 this season, so you know what a big achievement that would have been. Just how well has Lewis performed in your eyes as you've gone head-to-head with him this year?
I think it's needless to add anything. Obviously, he drove very consistent, he was very fast, and they were able to benefit and make or use the advantage when we were maybe struggling, but that's a quality, that's not luck, so it didn't come for free, and therefore I think there were a couple of races where the points slipped away from us, but they did very well to make sure that they did.
And as you said, still 2 races to go this year. Does anything change in the way you approach those final 2, looking to close out the season?
I don't know yet.
Kimi, 3rd place today. How satisfied are you with that recovery drive?
Well, I think it's the best that we could do. Not the easiest one. I think the second set of tires worked pretty well, and for sure in the end I didn't have a lot of them left, but they still worked pretty decently. So I think it's the best that we could have done.
And then Lewis Hamilton's a 5-time world champion. What do you make of him?
Well, congratulations to him. He made the best job out of anyone this year, so that's how it goes then.
And so to Mercedes-AMG Petronas, who never really appeared to have the pace today. When it came obvious they were going to have to do their second stops, they were in kind of a quandary because they only had used Ultrasofts to go on to. Max Verstappen took his free pit stop and had a fresh pair of the Super Softs. The Ferrari guys had fresh set of Ultrasofts. These guys only had the old tyres. That's why they had one hand tied behind their back in terms of strategy today. Hamilton was P4, but he's the champ, so we're going to leave him to the end. Bottas was P5. Let's talk to him.
Just how challenging was it to drive a Mercedes out there today?
It was challenging. We were way off the pace, and also the tyre life was nothing like we expected. We thought it would be a lot better. So honestly, we planned one stop for the race, and we ended up with 3.
Well, was this damage limitation then to get to the end in 5th? Is that all that was possible?
Yeah, I think it was everything that was possible. We tried to get the cars home in the end. We need to make sure we learn from this weekend, because it was not ideal, and the last couple of races hasn't been good enough.
Well, this was difficult, but there'll still be celebrations on the other side of the garage. Lewis is now 5 times world champion. Just how good is he? You've seen him close up this year.
Yeah, for sure. He's had a good season, especially the second half. He's been strong. I think when you know that you're still fighting for the championship, maybe it gives you an extra boost. So he's been performing really well second half, especially also the first half, and not too many setbacks for him during the year. So strong season.
Go on, sweetie. There you go, Steve. So Renault, interesting day for them. At the start, Carlos Sainz got past Kimi Räikkönen. Lost it on the next lap because Kimi just breezed past. But from that point on, it was looking like a really solid day for Renault. They've been on the pace right from the start of the weekend. And these higher altitude conditions seemingly favouring the teams with slightly underperforming engines. Renault and Honda in the practice looking really, really good. Anyway, these guys had looked to be having a great weekend with the warmer temperatures on a Sunday, and it showed itself in the race. They looked really competitive for the majority of the way. Ultimately, though, Sainz retired when he was sitting in a really strong position. Hülkenberg, though, bringing it home in a P6. Could easily have been P6, P7 today. Going to have to settle for Hülkenberg in 6th.
Best of the rest. Just be delighted with that performance today.
Yeah, I'm delighted. Is maybe said too much, but yeah, it's good day, positive. I feel I didn't really have to work so much for it. It just happened. I had a poor start. I lost the position to Carlos, and from there on it was really, just managing tires and formation really. Unfortunately, he retired. I'm not sure what happened, but yeah, that's a big shame. And then it was just about making sure the one stops works, saving the super soft as much as possible early on. But I always had a comfortable gap to Leclerc behind me, so fairly steady and straightforward.
A really, really good afternoon for Sauber. They both qualified, both drivers, Leclerc and Ericsson, in the top 10. And I think that just shows, again, the strides that this team has taken weekend by weekend throughout this year. It is not a surprise anymore, actually, that we see them qualifying in Q3. It's not a surprise that we see them in the top 10. And in the race itself today, both drivers brought it home in the points. Charles Leclerc in P7, Marcus Ericsson in P9. And with 2 races to go, again, it just reflects the brilliant job that everybody at Hinwil has done.
Charles, 7th place. You must be delighted with that.
Yeah, extremely happy, especially with the pace. I think at the end we were at the same pace of the leaders of the race, so it was quite incredible. Only thing that is a bit frustrating, and I need to speak with the team first to understand, is that I've been told to save tires all race, and I think there was a lot more potential in the cars we have seen in the last 10 laps. So, but overall, an extremely good day. Pace is there, and we overtook Toro Rosso in the Constructors' Championship, which it was what we wanted.
Marcus, points for Sauber, double points for Sauber. That must be a great day.
Yeah, I'm very proud of my race. I think it was one of my best, if not the best race I've done in Formula 1. I was fighting so hard, keeping faster cars behind with better tires pretty much the whole race. I had to sacrifice my race for protecting Charles, and I was kept out for many laps with tires that were completely gone. So all to protect Charles' position, which was frustrating because I knew I was completely sacrificing my race. But had to do it for the team. And then pit stop, we have a problem. We lose 5 seconds in the pits. Cannot get a tire on, unfortunately. But I came out and I kept fighting, and I kept so many cars behind. It was so much faster and had massive pressure the whole race. And just didn't do a single mistake with tires that were pretty much gone with 30 laps to go. So, yeah, I'm really proud of it. And for sure, it was one of my best performances in Formula 1.
2 races now left in Formula 1 for the McLaren duo of Stoffel van Dorn and Fernando Alonso. Alonso out of this race early doors. Seemingly took damage to his car when he took some debris on the opening lap, which affected the cooling and saw him retire with, I think, heating issues. That guy there had a belter. Absolute belter. Made a one-stop strategy work, seemingly not the strategy that anybody should have been on today. Made it work for him to record his best result in Formula One. A P8 at the flag. Delighted for him. Great to see him smiling again. And yeah, rich reward at the end of a tough season.
Stoffel, 8th place, you must be delighted.
Yeah, I'm super happy with that result today. I think great race. We knew it was possible to score points here with a lot of preparation we've put into this race in terms of what strategy to choose, 1 or 2 stop. Ultimately, we made the tires last for 1 stop, and after lap 1 we were last. So it was a great recovery. Some good overtakes on track, which were very crucial. And at the end, making the tires last and finish 8 is. First of all, a great result for myself, but also for the team to score some points for the constructors.
Difficult end of the year for Toro Rosso. These guys were really quick during practice, and we've already spoken about it with the Renault guys about the fact that the lower power. Certainly, it was a theory brought back by Mark Hughes that the lower power meant that they weren't putting too much strain through the tyres and therefore were able to look after them a bit easier. Certainly during practice in the hotter climbs on Friday. Brendan Hartley had the upgraded car this weekend, and it looked to be really competitive and really good, despite the fact that they'd gone back to a lower spec or previous spec engine. He picked up damage in the race to his car. Now, earlier in the weekend, he'd said that we shouldn't believe that Pierre Gasly had damage to his car in the race, shouldn't believe the press release because it's rubbish and the team's against him, and really negative stuff coming out of him as he sort of fights for his place at the teams. A lot of thought that after Austin, where he was so negative, despite the fact he'd had a really good run, that he had perhaps already been told of his fate for next year. The rumours are that Alex Albon will be in that second Toro Rosso seat. Be that as it may, the job at hand was for him to beat Pierre Gasly in every race at the end of the season. That is the job that he was told he had to do. Today, with the newer car, with the better car, on the day, he didn't. Out of the points, Brendan Hartley. Pierre Gasly back in the points, P10.
Pierre, from 20th on the grid into the points. How was that afternoon for you?
Yeah, I'm really happy. I mean, we knew it would be a difficult day starting from the back with the penalty. And in the end to recover to P10 to score 1 point is really satisfying.
And you had a bit of a scrap with Esteban Ocon in there. Talk us through that.
I mean, it's not new. We had a couple already in the past, and then one today, and then I guess we'll have some others in the future.
It was always going to be a difficult weekend for Williams. They've been struggling with downforce all season long, and on a circuit where you needed that high downforce because of the high altitude, they just didn't have it. The car's been scrabbling around all weekend like it was on ice, and in the race it was really just a case of hanging on and hoping for something. Hope, ultimately though, was not rewarded for Williams today. Another race in which both drivers gave their all, but finished outside of the points.
Sergey, how was your afternoon out there? Was points on offer for Williams today, did you feel?
Honestly, I don't have another word to say apart from great, because I don't know how it looked from outside. I don't know if you saw the footage, but I mean, from the way how we managed the race, it's been great. I'm very disappointed for the last 10 laps. I think obviously did one stop race, 10 laps to go. I still had my prime tires in a better conditions than all the cars around us, and I'm a bit disappointed that we could not see this nice fight back in the last few laps, because I had so much more pace. I'm sure I could pass at least 2 more cars, which would be, good to see for the team, good to please them with the effort we came back today. So, yeah, I mean, it's white and black. I'm disappointed with the result, but I think we really did a great job. So, thanks a lot for all the guys. It's been mega.
It's been an incredible season for Haas. Mexico is one they're going to want to forget. Absolutely wretched from the start to the end. Magnussen and Grosjean miserable. Just couldn't get the tyres worked on for the whole weekend. Really, really struggled. And it's so unlike the team, so unlike them. So yeah, just a really horrible one. One to endure, one to absolutely chuck in the skip, put it behind them, move on to the next race.
Kevin, that looked like a tough afternoon for us out there today.
Yeah, I mean, we got ourselves into a good position, and I think we pitted around lap 40 and got out on the ultra soft tire, which just didn't work at all. I mean, it was. If we want great racing, we need tires. It's not possible to go racing with these tires like this. So that's tough, but we move on.
Not the day that Force India wanted. In these dying races of the year, they are trying to catch back as many points as they can in that fight with McLaren to take those championship positions, which I don't need to remind you, they lost when they had the name change and the administration proceedings and all that. Strategy played a blinder today to put Sergio Perez from P13 well within the points, and with the retirements that came in the dying laps of the race, Perez could have found himself top 6, top 7 probably, pretty easily. Retired. Galling for him, for the team. Ocon couldn't bring it into the points either, so on a day that promised so much for Force India, ultimately a weekend where they didn't score a thing.
Checo, such a shame at your home race. What was the issue that stopped you today?
We had a brake failure, so that's why we had to retire the car. We were doing a fantastic job. I think 7th place was in the pocket today. The team did a great strategy. We were doing great, so yeah, unfortunately we didn't. It was not our afternoon, but we were perfect. I mean, I gave it all. I think the Mexicans must be very happy today.
Now, we're not going to leave the story of the day without the pole sitter, the guy who was so delighted on Saturday and just can't catch a break, can he? Once again, robbed of an almost certain podium, definitely, it looked like. Doing such a great job to hold off Sebastian Vettel in the dying laps, Seb on the fresher tyres. And Daniel looked to have it all sort of sewn up. Anyway, here is the man. Gutted, I think, is an understatement, as you will hear.
From pole position to what looked like being a well-salvaged second in that strategic battle, and then the car stopping. What happened?
Yeah, I just said pass fail, so I think it's a hydraulic or something. It's just, I don't know, this car's cursed. There's no point coming on a Sunday. There's 2 more races. I don't honestly see the point of coming, so it's want to go home.
And so we finish off Paddock Pass here in Mexico with the now 5-time Formula One world champion, Lewis Hamilton. He joins Juan Manuel Fangio and Michael Schumacher as being one of only 3 drivers in this sport's history to have amassed so many world championships. And on the form he's been on this season, one asks what he can go on to achieve in the future. For now, though, it's about today. It's about what he's achieved this year, and the words now of a 5-time world champ.
It just doesn't feel real at the moment. It just feels, really doesn't feel real at the moment. Feels like a normal day. Feels like a normal day when you've had a bad race. So I think it's going to take a while to kick in. But honestly, I just feel very humbled right now. It's a very humbling experience. Of course I dreamt of it and I worked towards it. But did I know that I was going to get number 5? Of course not. And even today, all these things that were going up against us, it was just like, it was nerve-wracking. It was quite an emotional race because it started off great and then I just couldn't hold on to it, and then it was falling further back. But anyways, I held on, I kept pushing, and I nurtured the car as much as I could to get home, which I'm grateful for.
Yeah, when do you think it will sink in? Because as you say, it wasn't the easiest afternoon for you out there.
I don't know. I guess I'm so conflicted because in my heart I want to win the race, and so and I approached it like any other race. Didn't approach it as the championship winning race, and so yeah. Naturally, I'll get past the difficult day that we've had, but then hopefully get to realize what it is that I've been able to achieve. But ultimately, this has been a year of really raising the bar, and such a blessing. The team have worked so hard, with which I'm so grateful. Mercedes have supported me since day one in 1997, so I feel very proud to be up there with the Godfather. It just doesn't even sound right. It doesn't even sound real at the moment, but I'm sure it'll kick in.
And how will you celebrate tonight?
It's really weird because I don't really feel like celebrating.
You should.
Yeah, I'm excited to wake up early in the morning and see my dogs, and just it's weird. No, it's weird. I quit drinking a while ago, so I don't know. I feel like I'm looking forward to getting up and just seeing the sunrise and just being grateful for another day. So it's a weird one, but there will be a point of this year that we can celebrate. But I don't even feel like today's the one. I still got races I want to win, and I still got things that I want to achieve this year. So it's on to the next one, basically.
Well, that is your lot from Paddock Pass here in Mexico City. It's been a wonderful week. Really has been fantastic fun. Love this place and everything that it's brought us. What it's brought Lewis Hamilton is 2 World Championships in 2 years. And we have 2 races left. Nothing left to play for those guys at the front. So perhaps they will pull the gloves off with wanton abandon. Or perhaps Lewis will take a step up and reach another level on this season where he has seemingly stepped up and up and up. A fantastic weekend in Mexico. Now, though, it is Brazil and Abu Dhabi and the final 2 races of the 2018 Formula One season. We'll see you there. For now, though, from us on Paddock Pass. Thanks a lot.